Solomon OGAR was born on November 16, 1973, to late Chief Fidelis Aju OGAR of Aine Ore, Ijegu, in Yala local government area, Cross River State. His mother, Christiana Omugo Ona, hailed from Ugaga in Yala local government area. He was the fourth child of the 23 children in a large family, growing up with the love, strict discipline, and values that would later define his path in life. Education. He began his early education at St. Joseph's Primary School, Okuku, in Yala local government area, Cross River State, Nigeria, where he obtained his first school leaving certificate, of which he affixed to his name within 1981 to 1986, before proceeding to the prestigious Marino College, Okuku, in 1987 to 1992 for his post-primary education. His quest for knowledge led him into the University of Calabar, where he earned a degree in microbiology from 1997 to 2001. Not satisfied with just one academic discipline, in 2017 to 2018 at the International Institute of Journalism, Abuja, Solomon pursued a postgraduate diploma in journalism, a field that would later become one of his passions. He also holds international certificates in forensic journalism from the Center for Journalism Innovation and Development, CJID, Abuja. Career. Solomon practiced journalism as a freelancer and made his mark in the media space by establishing Solomon Island Blog, a platform dedicated to public enlightenment and advocacy. His career path was diverse and impactful. He was also a contractor and served as a senior legislative aide to Chief Honorable Jude Ogbeche Ngaji, former House of Representatives member for the Ogoja Yala Federal Constituency.
Solomon was everything to me. In fact, to use the word was, it's a very difficult word to use, but Solomon was everything to me. He was my senior legislative aide, and he has worked with me. Right, started working with me from 2017 up to Saturday morning, the day he passed. So Solomon was everything to me. He was a fantastic young man. You either read him or you see him, and whether you like him or not, there are people who didn't like him for what he was doing, but they will still read from him anyway. And that is how the kind of fantastic young man he was. And I'll miss him. I'll miss him greatly. I'll miss him. It's like my world coming to an end when it comes to, when I remember all the things Solomon used to do for me. It's going to be really difficult for me to think of anyone that will replace Solomon. And in fact, it's still very difficult for me to refer to use the word was, because there are a lot of things that Solomon was doing for me before his passing. And if you recall, it was so difficult for us to actually allow Solomon to be taken to the mortuary because we felt God's miracle was still on its way. But there was nothing else we could do after all the struggle. From that Saturday morning up to Sunday morning, up to about 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday, that I was in the mortuary and seeing the mortician pumping that chemical into him. After that, when I came out, I just said, look, this world means nothing. And from that moment, my impression about life has further changed. And I tell everybody that until you visit a mortuary or a prison, when you come out of a prison and you come out of a mortuary, from what I saw that day, there is absolutely no reason to take this world too seriously. So yeah, Solomon is everything. Solomon has my credentials. Solomon has a passport. In fact, there was a day I met a girl who said she sent Facebook request to me and I declined or have not. I said, I'm not the one who operates Facebook. It was opened by Solomon and it's managed by Solomon. So as a human being, he had a shortcoming, but for me, that shortcoming was, I take it like every human being, but it didn't make, there was nothing significant negatively that I could say about Solomon because of who Solomon was and every conversation we had. Um, it's still a shock, um, and I do not think there can be any replacement, even if, but that Solomon that I know is going to be very difficult for me to find in anyone else right now.
Solomon is not just my constituent, it's my childhood friend. 30 something years ago, we came together as young men to form what is called Fidelity Promotions Club. We call ourselves the hit guys of the 90s. We're just within the range of 15 from struggling and privileged homes. Few of us had just come out of secondary school. So we're just rounding up from secondary school. And it was a social focus for us to come together and give a direction of what the future was going to look like. I found in Solomon at that formative time of our lives a young man with so much intellect, principled, a man who believes in his conviction, very hardworking. You could see in him, just like my mom struggled through restaurant business, and I was always giving support to my mom. I also saw Solomon doing same. So from day one, he's been that young man that is very hardworking. And so life continued until we all again came together in Abuja about 20 something years ago. And it's been so. I have spent the last 30 years in this town. I joined me about 20 something years ago. After he graduated, we've all been very good friends, working together, playing politics, sometimes together and sometimes from the opposition front. He's a good family man. I recall 20 or 21 years ago when he went to go and marry his wife, Betty. When I visited the family a day before yesterday, we were recounting all those sweet memories at this very sad moment. But the joy still is that Solomon was blessed to have 4 beautiful children, 3 female children, one already a graduate, and 3 others, one a male, and sadly enough, with a mother that is still alive. I have not always wished that our parents should bury us. I wish it was the other way around. But so sad that my dear friend and brother Solomon OGAR, the one whom at that early age calls himself Solos 4NG, and at a later part in life founded his blog group and called it Solomon Island. A great young man that is known almost across board for his strong advocacy for what he believes in, even though I was not privileged, so to say, to have enjoyed most of his positive account of my life. I was always at the receiving end of his criticism, but I enjoy it because each time he criticizes me, I will see our friends come down on him, and you say, "I beg, tell chairman, let him take care of me." That is Solomon for you, a very nice young man. He takes nothing to heart. He says it, and then the next minute it's out of him. He's an enigma of a sort. He's not a man you can call your own today, because today he can be your friend. Tomorrow you see Solomon writing against you. There is nobody that has not received Solomon's very dark reportage against his person, but sometimes he does it maybe out of jokes and out of other things that I cannot consider highly injurious. No, but he's been there, a proper organizer that shows concern. And I recall a lot of issues that have happened about people with their ill health situation, economic challenges. You will see Solomon putting on his page, calling for assistance. I recall a number of times he would draw my attention to such contributions, and I was always there because he is involved too, and it is also for us to help humanity.
Solomon OGAR is a friend, my personal friend, and turned to a brother, a strong and a close ally of this my political career. He's my political advisor. I rely on him so much in everything I do. If I am a coach today, I will describe him as a utility player. He's a person that most of my decisions I must consult him. He's a nice person. He's a wonderful person. He's an irreplaceable personality. I don't know the word I will use for Solomon. I tell you so much that the people of Yahweh and the entire perseverance is going to miss Mr. Solomon. He's a wonderful person that cares about people. He's a wonderful person that gives out advice without paying. He's a wonderful person that whenever you go to meet him, he will be there to help you out. He's a great personality, I must say it. He's a person that decided to help me. He became my media head on his own. He said, "Come, Honorable. I noticed that you don't have a media head. I noticed that you don't have a media person that is heading your media affair. I am going to do that for you." And he took that upon himself. And from that day on, Solomon has been wonderful. I am going to miss him. The people of God is going to miss him. And I want to promise him that we will all be here for him by God's grace. And my prayer is God to help us, to console us, to console his family. And God should receive him in his bosom. And at the end, let his soul rest in perfect.
Well, it's so saddening to experience the death of a loved one, Solomon, OGAR of the Solomon Island. He's a twin brother to me, and it's so saddening, it's so sad to experience his demise today. Solomon OGAR is a smart, a wise, he's a courageous and a visionary leader, and also a media expert. He has a passion for justice for the oppressed, to see justice for the oppressed, to ensure justice for the oppressed. Solomon OGAR has the passion to see good performance, good governance, and accountability to people in government and various political office holders. If Solomon were to be alive today, there is one word that will continue to echo in his heart. They are not performing. They are not performing. We must wake them. We must wake them up. Let them rise up to good performance, thereby putting his pen to work. One of the things that Solomon has succeeded to do in Cross River State is to bring all political office holders to accountability, thereby awakening them to good performance. Solomon have left a great mark and an impact in Cross River State and the politics of Nigeria at large. He has made a great impact in the media industry. Solomon OGAR will always be remembered as a legend and as an enigma. Today he has passed on. We are so saddened because who to replace him is what we are trusting God to provide.
Solomon is a brother, is a wonderful friend and a brother. Solomon is my everyday person. Solomon is my all-round advisor. Solomon is a very versatile person that is conversant with almost everything. Solomon is someone that I'm going to miss greatly. I don't think I'm close to. Solomon is among the first three persons that I'm very close to in Abuja. Solomon is somebody that we must talk almost on a daily basis. Solomon is one that if he tells me something and I believe him almost 99.9%. So for Solomon, I think since his unfortunate death, I think I am not myself. You understand? Solomon have done a great harm to me by that sudden death. You understand? Solomon is not a man that should die now. Solomon is a man who has made a name for himself. Solomon is somebody that at every point in time you call on him, you have something to tell you. Solomon, like I said, is my everyday person. Solomon is a jolly good fellow. Solomon is somebody just like his name is full of wisdom, understanding, and knowledge of almost everything. You understand? And Solomon is somebody that almost everybody is going to miss him greatly. You understand? I wish it's something that is a journey that will come back and tell us Solomon. We have to face the reality that Solomon is no more and step up our game to actually filling that gap. You understand? And make the result we have. Solomon is somebody that gives you hope. Solomon is somebody that gives you life. Solomon is somebody that encourages you. Solomon is somebody that will never say no to any situation. Solomon is somebody that is very courageous. Somebody that is, when you are with him, you know that he will encourage you. Unfortunately, I don't know why somebody like Solomon should die now. Solomon is somebody that no matter the situation, no matter the difficulties, he must always navigate his way out. I wonder why he did not navigate his way out in this situation. Solomon is somebody that when you convince you beyond reasonable doubt. You understand? Before he's dead, I think I was planning a function with him. He was the one who convinced me on the Friday that we should do that function for the professorship of Senator Stephen Ode. I agreed. I reluctantly agreed with him for Saturday. And we're planning it before his sudden death. Solomon is somebody that all of us are going to miss greatly. Solomon is a friend and a brother indeed. You understand? And my own message is that Solomon has run a race that is like a relay race that we have taken the battle and we have to take it to a logical conclusion. Solomon has 5 children. Solomon, one of his greatest heart desire is to train his children. So some of us that are friends and brothers, we have to actually contribute to see that come to fulfillment. And that is his highest, one of his priority.
OGAR Solomon OGAR is my elder brother, a friend, somebody I hold in high esteem, somebody I love so much. I respect him. We have our mutual respect for each other. He's my everyday person. He's my advisor. He's my consoler. He's my everything. His death came as a shock to me. But that Saturday morning, was it Saturday or Friday? Saturday morning, when I was called upon that Solomon is dead, my phone fell from my hand. I was shocked. I had to go there to confirm for myself. I didn't believe he was dead. I could not take it for almost 5 days before I had to accept it in good faith. I will miss him. I will miss him definitely, because it's somebody I respect so much. It's somebody that if something is bothering me, even in my home, I'll call him and also speak to him, seek for his counsel. He will counsel me and he will advise me. When after 2 days of his departure, I fell sick. Even till now, I'm still sick. And it was as the result of the shock. I was admitted in I think 4 days. My State House of Assembly member, Honorable Bravo, and so Senator, they came to see me. But we'll miss him. I will miss him so so much. I will miss him because there will be nobody to give me that, you know, in total advice that he always give me. He's somebody. He's my confidant. So I wish him eternal rest. I know he's in heaven. I wish him eternal rest, and I pray that God Almighty should accept his soul.
Solomon was actually my cousin. So when Solomon passed, people called and said, your friend, your closest associate, your ally has passed. Well, Solomon and I actually shared grandparents. He was my everyday man, actually. As a matter of fact, we woke up on Monday together and closed on Friday together. Every other week. That was all we were. The Friday before he passed, the following Saturday. That was the only Friday we didn't see in recent time because he was fixing his steering. Solomon's dreams, were dreams that I fully shared in. I felt at a point that my future, would be driven alongside Solomon's dream. Solomon had great dreams of putting out, some of the greatest media productions in the world. Those were his vision. Unfortunately, we do not have Solomon today. But as a matter of fact, people like you and many others who are along this path who would sustain Solomon's legacy, which is one of the things we're going to start as soon as possible. We have to sustain his legacy because they were great, they were lofty. We're going to talk about those things and we're going to pull them together and create a world where Solomon's name would never die. Because in the first place, as we live, we all die. The aim in the first place is not even to live forever, but to create something that will just like Solomon Island, which I think is a legacy that will live forever. So there are other insinuations about, people dying and people passing and becoming emergency friends or suddenly become of great interest to some other people. But that wasn't someone's story. The whole lot of stories that were made about people coming to see Solomon or to kind of for condolences and making available resources, and those are all not Solomon's story. Solomon's friends, the people you see around Solomon was friends to the big and mighty and the small. So the people you see around Solomon today, no matter how big you see them, you may not have seen them before, but they were in touch, greatly in touch. They were great friends. They were his clients. He was working for a lot of them. He was doing media for so many people. I won't mention their names. And again, there's something very instructive. No one will, be right to say that Solomon had financial issues and was not managed. Or someone called me from the US and said, "Do you mean that Solomon was actually not doing well and people didn't?" I said, "No, that wasn't Solomon. Solomon was extracting resources from people for people who were sick." As a matter of fact, 2 months ago, I won't mention the name, Solomon met someone in the hospital. He went to see someone who was invited, to help, but create a chat program to enable the person, secure medical bills. He met someone at the hospital and the person donated 2 million naira instantly. That was this thing I'm telling you just 2 months, only 2 months ago. So someone had the ability to extract resources, from people who are, and for those who do not have, especially in cases of ailments. So Solomon was cute, and I think he came to the end of his journey. That's the terms we have realized today. He came to the end of his journey.
Solo mean so many things to me. From our childhood, people see Solo as a controversial human being, but he is an intelligent, exceptional, smart man that we know from our youth formation. Even in his controversy, you must learn one or two things from him. Solo is a very passionate human being. Passionate human being. You see, when he created his Solomon Island platform, you would think that the Solomon Island platform was just for politics or for whether money making. But in that his platform, he has used it to better a lot of persons. He has used that platform to raise money. That's about how many persons that I cannot mention are alive today. But you see, as God will have it. When it comes to his own turn, there was no chance for anybody to raise money for him. Solo death is a very rude shock. A rude shock to me. Solo is my everyday man, everyday friend that I see. This place that we are standing here, just look at. 2 weeks ago, we sat there, me, Solo, Udotunu, Christopher Duma, and I think Ato Eba, our elder brother. We were arguing, having one small argument, laughing. On Thursday, about death. You talk like this, as somebody that will not live long. I will live long. You that, just like joke. On Saturday, just had a call. I've never had a call from Solo's wife before. I was sleeping when I woke up. I saw a missed call and dialed the number. Two caller shows that it's Solo's wife. I said, I told my wife I have not had any call from Solo's wife before. This one that Solo wife is calling me like this, I think something must be wrong. I tried calling her. The number could not go through. Immediately, the number that came in was from Christopher, our friend. That we should rush to Asokoro Hospital that something is happening to Solo. I said, I'm just seeing the wife call, like play. I rushed to Asokoro Hospital. From Asokoro Hospital, they were not there. They had already left for Gariki. I rushed to Gariki, saw my friend lying in the wife lap. I held his hand, touched his leg, part of the body, crying for him to come back. We prayed, never believed that it was real. But we thank God. Like the Bible said, in every situation we must give glory to God. Solo have lived his life. It's not how far a man lives, it's how well. He has lived an impactful life. You can call Solo a stubborn man, but that is not stubborn. He's a fighter. He's a very good fighter. Good fighter. Just unfortunate that he could not fight for himself. If someone tell me that Solo, my friend, is a man that will die in the next 30 years, I will doubt. I'll say no. Because as you see him behave, as he speak, as he acts, it's not somebody that you feel that he will just die cheaply. But we thank God and we'll continue to pray for God to grant him that eternal rest that he deserves. And we as his friends and brothers, we will do everything that we can to make sure we sustain his legacy. And the greatest thing I think we will do for Solo is to make sure we always remember his immediate family, the wife and the children, whichever way we can, whichever little way that we can, and continue to pray for his soul to rest in perfect peace.
Personal life. He was married to Betty Solomon, and their union was a partnership marked by mutual respect and love. He was a loving husband to his beautiful wife and a caring father to his darling children, whom he fondly called strategic bullets. He was proud of his children, and he will take time to celebrate their academic feats and birthdays. Beyond his professional roles, Solomon was deeply passionate about writing, advocacy, and humanitarian activism, using his voice and influence to champion justice and the welfare of others. He was sociable and associated with the strong, the weak, the high and the mighty without discrimination.
He was the best father. He was my best friend. Whenever I had issues with school, I would always call him and text him. He was everything. He was, words cannot describe words cannot describe how I love my father. I love and miss him so much. He was a man of principle and he always stood for the truth. He always spoke, he always stood for the truth and what is right, even till his last breath. He was the best father and husband I and my siblings could ever ask for. I really miss him so much. He's this type of person. Whenever I call him and I tell him something that I've done, he will tell me that instead of me to blame what happened on my mistake, I should fix it so that next time it won't repeat itself again. He has taught me a lot of things. He taught me how to speak up for myself. There are most times when I tell him things about things that are happening between I and my friends and my roommate, and he will be like, "Did you say this? Did you say that?" And when I tell him I did not say this or I did not say, he will be like, "Next time I should speak up for myself. It is better for me to be heard than me to be silent, so people will not take advantage of me." He's going to be missed for his impact and his social media impact and also physical impact that he has made during his days on earth. That is what I think people are going to, even as a daughter, that is what I think people are going to miss him. Solomon Oga was my father, and not just my father, but he was someone I looked up to as a guide because he spoke in his actions, he spoke in his words, in his beating and his correction, he spoke love, and he spoke everything that a father should speak to his children. He showed care, he showed attention, and everything. He was everything to us, and he was not just my dad. I looked up to him for a lot, even if he wouldn't sit us down to tell us do this or do that. Not every time that he would sit down and tell you something, but his words or his actions rather spoke very much louder in various situations. My dad wants to be remembered for his outstanding personality as an impact, as a voice, because he was indeed a voice. He spoke. He was not the one to be quiet in situations and let people step on him and throw him under the carpet. No, he always spoke. There was never a time he sidelined what was true. There was never a time he stood for lies or stood for what was wrong just because of whatever he stood to gain. If he had to lose it all, he would lose it all for the truth. So he will be remembered for his impact and his personality as someone who stood for the truth.
Leadership role. Until his death, he was the National Publicity Secretary of the Global Maryknoll College Alumni Association and the General Secretary of EMI Yala Development Initiative (YYDI). He was the Media Director of Chief Joagi SAN Senatorial Campaign Organization in the 2021 Northern Cross River Senatorial by-election. As a unionist on campus, he served the National Association of Yala Local Government Students worldwide meritoriously as the Director of Information. In 2001, he served the National Association of Biological Science Students as President. In the early 90s, he served as Secretary and, at the time, the President of Fidelity Promotion, a social organization based in Okuku then. In all the positions he held and organizations he served, the attestations from his colleagues have shown that he performed his official duties with unswerving integrity, candor, passion, and fearless determination. Solomon carved a niche for himself via the instrumentality of the Solomon Island blog. Through the blog, he built a community of followership with his incisive and insightful pieces. In recognition of his leadership dexterity and acumen, he was honored with awards and positions.
If you ask me, I would describe Solomon Oga Aju in 3 ways. He's prudent, he's steadfast, and he's humble. We have gone a long way. I've gone a long way with him as a friend, as a brother, as a subordinate. He's my secretary in our organization. He's the engine room of our association, EMI Development Initiative, because he's the one that collects all our minutes. He's a motivator. He motivated me to become the chairman of the EMI Development Initiative, single-handedly. Even when I said no, he said, "Chris, come and do it. You will be there. Do it. If you don't do this, association will fail. I say, okay, no problem. If that is your wish. Solomon is a very gentle man. He was a very kind man. He was a very social person. He's a man to reckon with. He will motivate you, even when you don't want to. He will push you until you go get that thing you want to do. And the other way, I will going to remember him in so many ways. We are going to remember him in so many ways. We have lost a great guy. And he's somebody that loves his family so much. He has passion for his family. He doesn't joke with his family. 1, 2, 3, Solomon will say, my children. 1, 2, 3 will say, my children, my wife. That alone gives me joy each time I'm with him. We have never been together that Solomon will not talk about his daughter, his son. He's looking for admission for him. He's looking for admission for her. That is a good father. So he'll be remembered in so many ways. And Solomon is known all over the world because of his platform. As a blogger, a writer, he has impacted in so many people's life. The politicians, the ordinary man, the people that you think he is not reckoning with, he will reckon with. So Solomon is a great person to be remembered. So I think we owe him a lot, which is prayers. We will pray for his soul and for his family that he has left behind. We will pray so that God will give them the fortitude to bear the loss, because it's not easy to lose your loved one. It's not easy at all. It's not easy. For this, me, that is a friend and a brother, I've been feeling the pain inside me each time I reflect on Solomon. When we are joking, when we are cracking jokes, we behave as if we want to fight. We will not come back together and say, if not that you are my brother, I will deal with you. He will say the same thing to me, and we'll laugh over it. We'll continue our journey again. So he was a good fellow. We lost a great guy. We lost a great guy. And we are all pained. We are all grieved in this. So Solomon will be remembered in so many ways. He will be remembered in so many ways. I pray for his soul. I pray for his mother that he has left behind, his siblings, his children, that God will protect them. God will guide them. God will always be in their needs. And he will have eternal life with our Creator.
OGAR Solomon OGAR is someone who really miss, because, like I stated on my post about his demise, he's one of those persons that has given me the strength and the zeal to continue to face the challenges of life, no matter the obstacles I come across. OGAR Solomon OGAR, I fondly call him, I call him my Ijebu big brother, because we happen to become close to each other ever since he noticed I am maternally from Ijebu. And ever since then, he has been like a big brother to me, where if I have issue, I discuss with him. If he discovers that I am kind of going back when it comes to all this online stuff and the political arrangements, he will call me and say, our comfortable comfort, the queen of Boma. What is going on? We'll not be hearing from you. I'll say, no, I'm fine. And he will encourage me that if there's anything holding me back, I should go further about it. I should continue. So we are going to meet him. Miss him. Solomon is a voice that we are going to miss, not just as perseverance, but as Nigerians. Not just as Nigerians, but Solomon Island was an international voice. He lived with his voice, And the ink in his hands, what an ink that has dried up. But we are consoled by the fact that we believe he is with the Maker. When we will meet him to pass on.
Solomon Island is a jolly good fellow. No matter what people say, if you meet him and you have one or two things to do with him, you know how good he is. He's a versatile person. When it comes, especially when it comes to media, you know, somebody that read the biochem and turned up to become a journalist. He took it upon himself that this is what he wants to be, and he started it and he was doing it very well. Solomon is somebody we have really missed. That very day he died, I had an appointment with him to meet with him. I was calling him that morning while he was dying. He refused to pick my call. I sent a message, he didn't go through, he didn't pick. I called him on WhatsApp because most times we do WhatsApp call. He didn't pick. I had to drop a message that said, bros, why are you not picking my call? I'm in the mechanic, that's why I've not come. I've not been in your house because we actually had an appointment to meet in his house. Then we'll now move from there to a hotel where we are supposed to have a political meeting. It was so devastating to me that morning when I had the falling of an hill. Ran down to see how we could resuscitate him. And eventually, it is written that once God has proclaimed something, nobody can make a change. That's it. And today, this is what we are facing. We lost a great man, and may his soul find a better place of rest.
Solomon, OGAR, the CEO of Solomon Island, was my bosom friend. Solomon is a man of wisdom. Solomon is multi-talented. There is hardly anything you will give to Solomon that Solomon does not have solution to. As a matter of fact, Solomon, I am missing Solomon greatly because he is one of my confidants. I don't have anybody to run to when I have any challenge in any area of my life. I miss Solomon so much. I'm saying farewell to Solomon. Adieu, Solomon. Say John, Solomon. Well, the companionship, the friendliness, the wisdom, name them. Solomon have a lot of attributes that I will miss. When I get into Abuja, the first person I will call is Solomon. If I want to get to anywhere, any ministry, any parasite, any MDA, Solomon knows the way. Solomon will take your hand. If I need anything, one of my friends even asked for a land. Solomon, within a twinkle of an eye, have provided answers to it. My friends were marveled that they have been in this town for over 1 month and they didn't get solution to this. That I just came within a twinkle of an eye. Here is the solution. This is made possible by Solomon's contacts, Solomon's versatility. Solomon, I will be Solomon in so many ways. As a matter of fact, I feel as if there is one part of me that is no more existing. That is how close I was to Solomon. I really miss him because there is no day in our life that is in the morning and in the night. I think we'll always close our day on a very good discussion at the overhead. And, last time we were supposed to see was the day before the battle, the following morning. But I came back late for my work. And in the morning, I left the house very early. When the wife called me that my friends to come out and then I have to call some of my younger brothers to go and take care of the situation there.
Unfortunately, before their arrival, someone passed out. I didn't sleep. I listen. Listen. Well, but I don't have any option. I did this. The God will. And I'll continue to pray for him. For him to have a very good place. Stay with the Lord. I wish him all the best. Please, help us to rest in peace.
That is what we're trying to deal with, because it was difficult for us to believe that he was dead, and that's why we kept moving him from one hospital to another. It reduced us totally to believing in God. Even when the medical practitioners, 4 medical doctors or 5 had confirmed it, but we still didn't believe it. And that is the reason why I wasn't in a hurry to want to push him into the mortuary. You know what I mean? It took us some time. It took us a long time. Imagine starting from 9:30 up till about 5 o'clock when he had died, before we said, okay, don't even put him in the morgue, just keep him somewhere in case he wakes up. But waited until Sunday, waited 8 a.m. Sunday, 12 Sunday, until I had no option but to go back to the mortuary at 2, because the mortician advised that if we kept leaving his body here, there's a possibility that it will go back. And I didn't want to take, allow that to happen. So I stood personally with the mortician and ensured that what needed to be done was done. And then after that, we left. And I came back home and I shut down for today. Every day I remember Solomon. Every day of my life I remember Solomon. In fact, Solomon runs errands for me, and both academically he does my researches, even when it's not his field, he just does everything. So I'll call Solomon, please go buy this book and take to my father. And then the next minute Solomon is there. I mean, it's a very painful day. Very, very painful day. It's a very painful day. And in fact, there was a day we joked. I said, I just called him when he had pneumonia, and he told me he had pneumonia. I said, pneumonia is not cool, because I didn't know so much about how pneumonia works. I said, it's not cool. I said, stay away from ACs and all that. And then I can remember I said something very funny to him. Sometimes I don't know. I just said, Solomon, these your things you write about people, the negative things you write about people. This your pneumonia and all that. The one day they will just kill you with your words and write up. And he laughed and said, he's Peter the Rock. And I said, some of them are having sleepless nights. They keep calling me and say, your media chief has written this, please talk to him. Not to. And then when I called him, I said, Solomon, did you write anything about anybody? He said, no, all he does is he just brings their picture or their video of what they say themselves and then just play, because it's always very interesting to his ears. So he just plays it. We just joked and, we just laughed. I receive calls when he writes one word, it's more than 100 words of what any other person can write. You just can't match. You just can't beat him when it comes to using his Bible.
Solomon, my friend, was truly a godsend to many. He lived a life of love, compassion, and care for others, embodying God's love for humanity. He was a man of the people, always thinking about how to uplift and support others. He will want to be remembered as one who gave selflessly, inspired others, and worked tirelessly for the good of his community. Even just 2 days before his passing, he spoke to me about setting up a fundraising platform to support the Yala local government team in the state league, an idea he did not live to see to fruition. I believe his message would be one of love,
unity, and service to others. He will encourage us to continue supporting one another, to give generously, and to live in a way that reflects God's love in action. Thank you. May his perfect soul rest in peace. Amen.
Character and legacy. Those who knew Solomon remember his sharp intellect, unwavering principles, and deep compassion for humanity. He was a smart man, though impatient and uneconomical with the truth. He was a man of ideas, courage, and service, always willing to stand for what he believed in. Solo, as his associates and contemporaries called him, was a champion of civic betterment and a tireless advocate of good governance. He had a knack for combining tenacity with dynamic action to pursue any cause he believed in, even if it means standing alone. On many occasions, he demonstrated his warm-hearted humanity and deep concern for the welfare of the sick, the wrongly accused, the cheated, and downtrodden by mobilizing funds and relief materials as succor to them. He was born into a Christian family and lived and died as a Christian. He supported and encouraged his immediate family in the pursuit of their Christian ministries and personal callings. As a testament to that, his beloved wife is an ordained pastor in the Wonder Chapel ministry. As a freelance journalist, he was admired for his penetrating insight into the complexities of the global socio-political situation. One of his write-ups on Facebook led to the installation of water facility currently at St. Paul's Primary School. In light of the above, Solomon tried to leave his immediate society better than he met it.
Solomon's sharp mouth was such that you would say death was going to be afraid of him. So if death could come and pounce on Solomon and could arrest him so cheaply, then none of us is safe. And I must say this, it's such a painful loss. Yala has truly lost one of its very promising future leaders that would have added positively in any form to the development of Yala, just like he was doing at the level where he is now. I know that the future would have been so much robust for Solomon to play with. It would have been for the good of Yala and humanity as a whole. So on behalf of all of our friends, my family, our political party, where he featured and worked prominently, working with Honorable Jude Ngaji, I want to extend and express our condolences, first to the wife and to the children, to the mother, to his siblings. Almost all of them are my friends. In fact, Pastor Simon was a member of our Fidelity Promotion. The elder sister Diana was a member of Fidelity Promotion. That's how we all grew up. And it's so sad that on this side of the world we might not meet again. I feel truly, really, really sad. Solomon was a very great man, and his death is actually a great word that has been created in our league of friendship. May so rest in peace. He'll be remembered for so many good things. When the time will come calling for who will be there when there is need to sort assistance for those in need, people will remember Solomon Island. Remember Solomon Island. And if Solomon were to be alive, Solomon would have done this. Solomon was also a social critic. People will remember him when there is need for fearless people to stand and challenge and speak truth to power. Solomon is a jolly good fellow. He mixes up with the low and the high. If you watch how Solomon at any social gathering can just take into taking down steps and playing jovially, even with people far younger than him, Solomon will be missed on that line. Solomon will be missed in the intellectual circuit when you have need to say, where is that young man whose intellect you need now today to convey and to pass some messages with the intellectual fiber that is required? Solomon will be missing in that line. Solomon is that man who will also, at all time, that is highly needed be there for his family. The family will truly, truly miss Solomon.
I miss Solomon. I miss Solomon. It was a fantastic man. I miss Solomon. Yes, there are people who will not like him. It's a very natural human existence. Not everybody will like him. Some people will not apologize for their way of life. Some may wish to. But from the day I met him, I do not think there's anyone else because he's just so, the ideas he brings, and then the kind of things, suggestions he makes when we're having a conversation. The advice he brings when we're having a conversation. I don't tell him, but when I leave, I just shake my head and say, yeah, this guy is just a fantastic guy and that I can rely on. Can you imagine me, all of my documents, original copies of my documents, are all with him. Passwords to some of the things that we are doing. He is the only one who had access to it. I don't. Even the lawyer who is doing a registration for me, which he is supposed to be the registrar of the institute and all that, I don't. Even the worry, when I started getting worried, look, I need to get some Indians to manage our website and pay a certain amount of money. He just told me, I shouldn't even bother. Something that he can do. And he actually started working on the website. So, I mean, it's just a question of how do I start? You know what? It's a very difficult thing. And, a very popular young man. Very popular young man. And, he's somebody who, yes, when he believes in what he believes in, you try to get it done. But when you call him, he has a lot of respect for me, and I do respect him as well. I do respect him as well. I respect him a lot as well because it's just a bundle of everything. It's just a combination of everything. To tell you the truth. So I miss him. I miss him very seriously. I miss him every day. I miss him every day. My father does, and everybody around me, they all do. They do miss him because it's going to be a very, very difficult thing for me to be able to carry on without having someone like someone. I'm particularly not a media person. Sometimes he just wakes up, puts my pictures, wants to cause trouble. He was troublesome, generally troublesome. Troublesome, not in the sense of trouble. When you ask him why did you do that, he said, yeah, he knows how to work on somebody's psychology. So he would just wake up, put my picture, and say joy is coming. And the next thing I start having full calls from people, and I ask him, why did you do that? He said yes, he had to do it to keep us alive, and that people should, he just has a way of making me laugh or making people. If you take Solomon does sometimes, you take him seriously and think that's enough for you to get upset with him, you're only wasting your time. Because a young man is not going to get stuck there with you. You will just keep moving on with what is doing. So, yeah. I don't need to say much. I miss Solomon every day. I'm just waiting for that day to really be sure that this guy is truly gone. It's difficult. I've seen young men. I read about what a lot of people like. You just can't compare. You just can't compare. When somebody writes and writes to tell about something, and he has a way of the mastery, of balancing, making his write-up entertaining. You know what I mean? With perfect use of words, and I miss the young man. And then he just has a way of getting things done. I wake up and then before I know what I tell him to do, it's done. It's either sending me a soft copy or bringing a hard copy or giving me a suggestion. Sometimes even advised me that no, we can't do it for so reason. Sometimes I get people who call me and I speak to him and they say, when I speak to him to what his idea, what he thought about the cause, he will tell me, no, don't deal with this person, deal with this person. So he knew so much about me and keeps a lot, has and left with so much about me.
One of the rudest shocks I've received in recent times is the death of Solomon Oga. It threw me off balance. When I announced that I was releasing a book, the first person who called me was Solomon, registering his supporters. Everybody who has experienced Solomon will tell you that he's a friendly person, fun loving, kind, no wahala. I've not heard of wahala. I don't want to go through several experiences where he's called to, just to chime in, to know what's going on, what's up, just to show concern. Not just as colleagues in the media field, but as a brother. Solomon said to me that he would be in attendance for my book launch and he would give me all the necessary support. Solomon and I spoke. You know what I mean? Only for me to find out of Solomon's passing a day to my book launch. Did I weep? I was devastated. I was in denial. I couldn't understand what happened. And I prayed that day and I said, God, in fact, I said, Solomon, you said you were going to be at my book launch. I don't want to say you are dead. I want to believe that you have transitioned to a realm that the physical cannot comprehend. In your words, you will be at my book launch. Solomon, be there. Support me. Be my backbone. I still am in denial. I can't understand what happened. But to the wife and the children, Solomon was a very impactful individual in society. He was every guy's guy. He was likable, he was lovable, he was friendly, he was a voice in this generation. He was a fantastic writer. A lot of people know him for the word doxology. We miss him. Solomon, I know you can hear me. May you continue to rest in peace. Watch over those of us you have left behind. I know that we have lost you, but you are heaven's gain. Rest in peace.
Solomon Oga is so rest in peace. It's an indescribable human being. So near perfect. I must say so. A man embedded with wisdom. Solomon is a man of wisdom. In fact, the name given to him, that person, may God bless that person. He lost a rare gem. I must say so. Solomon, to me, if you interact with Solomon, what comes out from him, you perceive wisdom, absolute wisdom. You feel he's intimidating you, but he will probe you to get facts from you. If you listen to him, if you allow him to talk to him, he will probe you. He will put you. It seems as if he's examining you, and he will bring out facts from you. So intelligent. A young man I so admire. He's so rest in peace. Solomon legacy cannot be emphasized. We saw how he came up, Solomon Island, and if you go there, the report there are genuine. The report there are fact. His reportage is top notch. This is a legacy that Solomon have left behind. Legacy of love, legacy of sincerity, legacy of what is being described as legacy.
Solomon Oga is a man of integrity. He's someone that stands for the truth and he stands for hard work. He's industrious. He's someone that no matter your height, you cannot intimidate him. He's sound. He's intellectually alert at any point in time to any situation. So he's someone amiable, he's friendly. You can't annoy him. You annoy him, people will still settle and laugh on that matter, and that's all. So he's really a jolly good fellow, and we'll miss him. Yeah, like I said, he's a man of integrity, so he will ever be remembered for integrity and hard work. He's always keep going. He have his family at heart. It's always his family, his children. Like we normally say, his 4 strategic bullets. So those words keep ringing in our minds. Some of us that are very close to him, whenever you see his blog and all of that. So he's someone that loves his family, he's a man of the family, and he will really be remembered for that.
Speaking about the late Mr. Solomon OGAR, is particularly a very big loss to me. And I want to say that his death is a monumental loss to us who are his very close associates, close junior friends. Solomon did not give us a hint, did not give us a sign. In fact, Solomon, on the day of his death, he invited us for an event, for a meeting. We didn't know that that meeting was to actually announce his departure. It's a very big loss to us. Solomon, to us, some of us who are very close to him, he's like our encyclopedia. Because bring whatever issue that you don't have clearance on, and just draw his attention, he is there to give you the answer and hope. Let's note, Solomon OGAR is a great advisor. He gives you advice from the deepest honesty that any man can think of. He doesn't embellish things. He gives you real advice that when you take it, use it, it works like magic for you. We say Solomon, and then we refer to him as Solomon, with the man with the wisdom of Solomon in the Bible. That is what we are looking at about this great individual. And so we're going to miss him very greatly. Me particularly, because he shares a whole lot. I'm a journalist. Solomon is also a journalist, so you can understand what I mean. We have press conferences, he invites me. I go there, I get things done. I have my own press conference, I invite him, he comes around and gets things done. And so he's such a wonderful person. Solomon OGAR that I'm talking about today is whatever situation that you find yourself in, however tense it is, when Solomon comes, he will make you to laugh. He will crack your ribs. He knows a way to always get things settled, get things resolved, ease you off of whatever tension you find yourself. So he's someone that we're going to miss. I have a lot of business we have already. In fact, this month we're going to launch a magazine. I am Solomon for your local government area. But today is no more. And so we want to make sure that by the grace of God, whatever he left behind, we will keep his legacy. Solomon Island will keep his legacy. He has been planning to have a podcast. He was already investing in it. By the grace of God, myself, my other brother Odo Tunu, my friend Jack Solo, and others, we want to make sure we get that upstream, to remember him and keep his name going.
About Solomon Island, he's just like my father in Abuja. I've been very close to him. He's always there for me when it comes to situation, advice, and encouragement. He's always there for me. As the director of Judo Media, I was a member, and I am still a member. Yemayala Development Initiative is the Secretary General. I am the Director of Welfare. Honorable Brian Ode, Media Chief, is the Director. I am the Secretary. I see we have worked very close. Last year by this time we went to Calabar together to celebrate other awardees of the Achievers Award. Solomon Island is such a wonderful person, very intelligent. I wish somebody can pull out his brain for me, but it's not possible. So, I'm still shocked, but by the special grace of God, I'm strong a little bit. We just pray that God should give us the strength to take care of his legacy, the things that he has left behind. We just pray that we work together with my senior brothers, Friday, and Audio 2. We have been putting things together. All thanks to those that believe in Solomon Island. I miss him. I'm going to miss him, and he's a great man. I wish he's here to give me a backup. Each time I want to go for an interview, he will tell me do this, do that, do that. But today is not here. I can stand here boldly to face the camera. I'm happy. I pray God should just forgive him his sins and protect him wherever he is.
I'm so sad to be discussing my friend that has just passed on. This discussion could be the one that was sitting and discussing business with him, not to sit and send condolence message. It's been so sad for me since his passed on. Solomon OGAR has been a great guy, a brother, a senior friend, a colleague in the media. He has been everything to me. Since I met Solomon OGAR, he's one man that he will just wake up and call me. We begin to discuss issues concerning our profession. He's one guy who, since I met, he advised me on what to do if I'm going wrong. Solomon OGAR has been a very good friend to me. He does not think of age. What he wants is credibility, capacity. I'm so pained that the plans we have together, it has cut short. When I launched my YouTube channel, Solomon was the first person I discussed my plans with. Solomon was the first person that sent me news item for my YouTube channel. When the governing council board that was appointed by President Tinubu, his boss is among the governing council board, Honorable Joe Dungaji. The day of the endorsement of President Tinubu, he sent me the clips, sent me the script, and I have to rearrange it in my own way and send back to him to go through it before I do my job. Immediately I did that, he was so excited. Solomon is one guy that always think of one another. I'm in short of words. And I don't need to question God why Solomon OGAR. In every situation, the Bible says give thanks to God. I pray wherever he is, may he find peace. I pray that whatever Solomon has left behind, his legacy, the Solomon Highland, the YouTube channel he was planning to launch, we are going to sustain all of his legacy.
Transition. On the 9th of August, at the early hours of that fateful day in Abuja, when the Eternal Space Shuttle was ready, Solomon journeyed across the celestial to rest with his Lord. His passing has left an irreplaceable void in the hearts of his family, friends, colleagues, and the many people whose lives he touched. He is survived by his mother, Madam Christiana Omugo-Ona, his beloved wife Betty, lovely children Delphine, Daniela, Diamond, and Desire, siblings Pastor Patrick Ajuoga, Mrs. Peniel Tony Gobernay OGAR, Apostle Simon Jerry OGAR, Mrs. Gladys Onipedi Ne OGAR, Mrs. Akpata Ne OGAR, Barrister Dennis Ogidi OGAR, Mrs. Bridget OGAR, Mrs. Rose Omugo Ne OGAR, Mrs. Omagu Ne OGAR, Mrs. Ogbene Ne OGAR, Comrade OGAR Emmanuel Oko, Engineer Fidelis Aju OGAR, Miss Grace OGAR, Mr. Sunday Aju OGAR, Mr. Stephen Aju OGAR, Mr. Thomas Arthur OGAR, Mrs. Agnes Ne OGAR, Mr. Kevin Aju OGAR, Miss Margaret Oyigoja OGAR, and Mrs. Caroline Ne OGAR, and other numerous relatives, and a wide network of friends and admirers. His legacy of service, advocacy, and love for humanity will continue to inspire and guide those he left behind. May his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. Amen.